Now at 9, renovations to a Muncie park and what to expect for Riverview.
Plus, President Mearns features a new virtual program, what this means for current students and alumni.
Plus, remembering late Congresswoman Jackie Walorski, what bill was signed in her honor.
And former President Donald Trump is being sued by the New York General Attorney. Learn why in moments.
I'm tracking a dramatic cool down for the beginning of fall tomorrow. I'll have more coming up next.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening. Thanks for being with us. I'm Avery Johnson.
And I'm Rebecca Rosado. People have been able to see renovations of parks in the city, and updates to review will start soon.
NewsLink Indiana's Catherine Segal joins us in the studio now. Catherine, are these renovations similar to the ones that the parks were already updated?
Yes, so there are two parks that have already been completed, Cooley Park and Haltman Park. Carl Malone, superintendent of City of Muncie's Parks Department, told me that Cooley Park was equipped with upgraded playgrounds, a splash pad, a restroom with handicap ability, a changing room, new basketball courts, and a 1.5-mile walking trail. Riverview is looking to make similar changes with its upcoming renovations. The Parks Department is working under a 5-year plan. Malone's goal is to upgrade 4 parks identified by the mayor for renovations and added water parks while he is appointed. Each park will include upgraded playgrounds with ADA compliancy and a splash pad. Any other added amenities come by request from the community. Malone said Riverview Park, which has a river, a walking track, and 2 daycares nearby, will bring a lot of traffic.
So we think being able to serve that particular population for that particular park is really going to speak volume, because you're going to see these young kids at that park on a regular throughout those good months that we can provide outdoor summer recreation.
Malone specifically is in charge of communication between the park's projects director and the citizens of Whiteley community on updates on delays and time completion. And Malone hopes to finish Riverview Park in 2023 and start renovations on Thomas Park in 2024.
Catherine, thank you. The Ball State men's and women's basketball head coaches joined President Jeffrey Mearns for the first episode of Ball State Plus. Ball State Plus is a virtual program that gives an inside look into the university. This is hosted by award-winning journalist and BSU alum Sandra Chapman. The first episode, The State of Ball State, discussed the changes to the university in the last few years and what ones are planned for the future. President Mearns talked about how the recent construction is not the only thing helping the university bloom, it's the contributions from alumni.
The campus facilities was just a part of what makes Ball State special. And what makes us special are the values and the character and the culture and the commitment of our alumni.
Mearns highlighted the mentorship program that keeps alumni as resources for students. Tonight's episode also highlighted the recent success from Ball State sports.
We are 1 month into the semester, and many clubs on campus are getting a head start on research projects. The Econ Club is one of them. ISP studies more than just typical economics. The research includes topics such as sports, economics, and multinational corporations. They also use literature and data research to break down theories. The club gives students like Owen Holtzbach a chance to specialize in certain studies of economics and prepare them for future classes.
State, and ISP in particular, provides great opportunities for students to grow and develop that, might not have those opportunities elsewhere.
If you are interested in learning more about economics, philosophy, or politics, contact the professors at ISP, Dr. Snow, Dr. Bohannon, or Dr. Nesbitt.
And transitioning a little bit to weather, today was a really hot day, Avery.
I know, it was super humid. I am ready for it to cool down. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to break out my fall sweaters.
I am ready for fall, and I think that's coming soon. So let's check it out with Jack.
Yeah, right now we are seeing a cool down that is in the works right now. So right now we're going to still be in the 80s here in Muncie. We're going to be 82 in Muncie, 81 in Indianapolis. But as you can see off to our west, we do have this cold front moving into the viewing area that's bringing that colder, more fall-like temperatures. Speaking of, we've got our good old fall meter right here. So, of course, what comes before the first day of fall? It's Earth, Wind, and Fire Day. So do you remember? Of course we do. And then we got to dust off that flannel, and we do have some sweater weather right there as well. Be sure to wash those, because I know they've been sitting in your closet for the past 9 months. So let's spruce those up a little bit. Looking at our next 12 hours here, we're going to be in the 70s at 10 o'clock, 75. Then we will go down through tonight into the 60s, and we will actually start tomorrow in the high 50s. So it'll be a drastic change from today. So what we're tracking ahead, we're looking at some lingering showers that are still in the area right now. We do have that big cool down, but we will warm a little bit back up for the 70s for the weekend.
Thank you, Jack. Crews in D.C. are cleaning the Washington Monument after it was vandalized. Police say Sean Deaton traveled from his home in Indiana to D.C., where he splashed the monument with paint and wrote vulgar comments yesterday. He's been arrested on multiple charges, with possibly more coming. It'll take weeks to clean up the mess.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and members of the Indiana congressional delegation signing a bipartisan bill to honor late Republican Congresswoman Jackie Walorski. She and 2 members of her staff were killed in a car crash last month, and the bill designates a clinic of the Department of Veteran Affairs in Mishawaka, Indiana, to the Jackie Walorski VA Clinic. The bill will now head to President Biden's desk.
President Biden is not holding back on his criticism of Vladimir Putin as the Russian president ramps up the war in Ukraine. Today, the U.S. president delivered a speech to the United Nations with a harsh rebuke of Putin's latest action, saying Putin has, quote, shamelessly violated the UN Charter by committing atrocities in Ukraine. President Biden's speech came after Putin announced he was ordering a, quote, partial mobilization of Russian citizens in the invasion of Ukraine.
This world should see these outrageous acts for what they are. Putin claims he had to act because Russia was threatened. But no one threatened Russia, and no one other than Russia sought conflict.
Former President Donald Trump is now facing new legal trouble. The New York Attorney General announced a sweeping lawsuit against Trump, his company, and his 3 oldest children.
They violated several state criminal laws, including falsifying business records, issuing false financial statements, insurance fraud, and engaging in a conspiracy to commit each of these state law violations.
The more than 200-page document alleges a decade-long fraud scheme to inflate his net worth, but it could have significant implications for him, the family, and their company. New developments in the January 6 investigation: Virginia Thomas, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, has agreed to an interview with the House panel this evening. The committee is looking to interview Thomas in a, quote, effort to know more about her role in trying to help former President Donald Trump overturn his election defeat. Virginia Clarence reached out to Arizona and Wisconsin lawmakers as, quote, part of that effort.
The investigation committee is also set for a new hearing next week. That's according to the House Committee's chair, Bernie Thompson. He says the committee has chosen a topic, but isn't revealing what that is right now. The committee also hasn't decided if they're calling a live witness to the hearing, but Thompson said this will likely be the last hearing before the report is released, and it will take place on September 28th at 1 p.m.
Ex-Minneapolis police officer Thomas Lane has been sentenced to 3 years in prison.
He pleaded guilty to aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter earlier this year. 2 other former officers, Tao Thao and J. Alexander King, turned down that plea deal offer from state prosecutors, and they chose to move forward to trial, which is set to start next month. The 3 officers faced both state and federal charges for their role in Floyd's death.
The city of Detroit is suing the U.S. Census Bureau. Detroit claims the Bureau is undercounted its 2021 population estimate. The census happens every 10 years and is the basis for determining how many representatives each state gets in Congress. It also dictates how an estimated $1.5 trillion in federal funding is spent. The city is asking the court to compel the Bureau to share its formula.
Coming up, 2 U.S. prisoners are returned home from Russia. Find out why.
Plus, the latest mishap with NASA's rocket launch test. What's causing the problems?
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, MITS will take you there.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
A new report shows progress against cancer, with more people in the U.S. surviving cancer than ever before.
The American Association for Cancer Research found in the past 3 years the number of cancer survivors living in the U.S. increased by more than 1 million. As of January, there were 18 million cancer survivors in the U.S. The association said that number is expected to increase to 26 million by 2040. For all cancers combined, the 5-year overall survival rate has increased from 49% in the mid-1970s to nearly 70% from 2011 to 2017. And the overall cancer death rate, adjusted for age, continues to drop. The report credits the progress against cancer to fewer people, smoking, and improvements in catching and threatening cancer early.
2 American veterans who were held by Russian forces are now free. Alexander John Robert Druk and Tai Nuk Wang, both volunteers from Alabama, were captured while fighting for Ukraine back in June. Their release was part of a prisoner swap between Russia and Ukraine. A spokesperson for the family said the men are safe and at the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia. The men are expected to return to the U.S. after medical checks and debriefings.
Russian and Americans are working together in space, the face of enormous tension while the war in Ukraine rages on. A NASA astronaut and 2 Russian cosmonauts arrived at the International Space Station today. This Russian capsule took off from Kazakhstan for what's being expected to be a 6-month stay to continue the space-based experiments that have been happening on the ISS for more than 20 years.
NASA engineers detected a liquid hydrogen leak during today's crucial fueling test for the Artemis 1 moon rocket. This is similar to a leak that prevented the September 3rd launch attempt. NASA is attempting to replace 2 seals and new procedures in wake of that leak. The space agency wants to try to launch the rocket next week on an uncrewed 39-day mission.
Now transitioning over to weather, it's looking like it's going to cool down. Hopefully that continues.
Oh, trust me, that will definitely continue. You can see how much colder we already are, and that will continue to go. I'll have more coming up after the break.
Baby, you see, I cannot set you free. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
every day.
Every day.
Millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. Now sending it over to Jack for a full look at weather.
Yeah, right now we are experiencing a large cool down around the area as a cold front starts to make its way through our area. As we can look at our 24-hour temperature change, actually we're going to be a little warmer right now. However, that's not what we're really looking at. We're looking at all this blue over here. I mean, you could look in Champaign, Illinois here is already 4 degrees colder than it was yesterday at this time, and we will expect this to drape forward or come forward through probably within the next hour or two. We can really start seeing those big temperature changes. Going to our current temperatures though, right now we're still going to be at 82 now, 81 in Indianapolis, and it's going to be 79 in Kokomo. But again, out here in Illinois, we're going to be at 73. That cold front is starting to work its way through our area. Now we were quite hot today. Actually, we hit a high of 93, which was very close to the record high set back in 2010 of 96 degrees. Now to kind of put this in perspective of how hot this really is, our average temperature is usually 76 degrees. So we were actually quite warm today. And granted, we didn't break that wall yet, but we were definitely close. Going to our current radar right now, we are seeing just a couple scattered showers start to move through the area. Those shouldn't be severe or anything, just you might get a heavy downpour here and there. Looking off to tonight, we are going to be seeing a low of 57 with that front coming through. We're going to also be seeing those scattered showers with those north-northwest winds, 5 to 10 miles an hour, bringing in that colder air, really cooling us down. Precision cast, you're just going to see the continuation of those scattered showers move through the area, and by tomorrow they should be completely out of the way. Now this whiplash that we've been seeing, again, today's high was 93 degrees. Tomorrow's high is 65 degrees, just in time for the start of fall. I am very, very excited about this. I'm fed up with the 90s. Hopefully we don't have to deal with that for the rest of the year. And then moving on to tomorrow, we're going to see this gradual warm up to 63 degrees. We're going to start the day off at 58 degrees and then warming up gradually up to 63. It is going to be quite breezy tomorrow, 10 to 15 miles an hour. That's going to be coming straight from the north, again, bringing all that cold air into our viewing area right now. Now going on to our 7-day forecast, as you can see, tomorrow being the first day of fall, we're going to be breezy, 65 degrees. But also look at this low. 41 degrees. It's going to be quite cold tomorrow, and especially Friday morning as well. As we move up to Saturday and Sunday, we'll be in the middle 70s there, warm up a little bit. And then to start off the week, next week, we're actually going to be back in the mid 60s. So we are going to cool down after the weekend a little bit, but I'm looking forward to this. I'm ready for this cooler weather.
I know, I am too. I'm definitely ready for fall. I've been ready. I feel like it's been 90 degrees for way too long.
Way too long.
Way too long. And you know, I will say I did get out my sweaters this past weekend and clean them.
Oh, there you go. You
have to. You told me they were not going to be good and clean, so I had to get them out and I cleaned them.
They've just been sitting there forever. You know, they get musty, dirty. You can't.
Absolutely.
You
so
can't have that.
I'm ready. I have my outfit picked out for tomorrow.
I love it.
Some leggings. So thank you so much, Jack.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right, now we're going to toss it over for a look at sports.
Thanks, guys. We check in on one Ball State team handling a new head coach, plus another getting ready for their season opener. All that and more after the break.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously. Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Jake Garcia with sports. Ball State women's golf has a new face at the helm of the program. NewsLink Indiana's Andy Newman caught up with the new head coach and the team to see how they're adjusting to the change in management.
Ball State women's golf has a new face in a familiar place, and head coach Cameron Andre.
Well, Ball State's my alma mater, so it's a special place to me. It's a dream come true. I love Ball State and really feel like this program has, everything that it needs to be a championship contender, and I'm really excited just to get to work.
Andre making the move back to Muncie more than prepared to help the Cardinals take flight to new highs after an 11-year tenure with the Taylor University Trojans.
I love Taylor. It's a great place for me to learn and grow as a young coach, but was really excited for the challenge of coaching at the Division I level, and to do it at my alma mater made it even more special.
Along with Andre adjusting back to life here in Delaware County, the golfers must also adjust to this new change in coaching pace. Junior golfer Kaya Parrott believes that with the addition of Andre, the program is moving in the right direction.
It's been a big change, but I think it's just the beginning, and I think it's going to be the start of something really good. So I'd say, overall, I'm really happy with how it's going.
While unfamiliar with the previous coaching regime, freshman golfer Sarah Gallagher feels that Andre brings a certain electricity to the squad that she hasn't seen in her previous coaches.
He is always super fired up and loves competing and just kind of passes on that energy to everyone else.
As Coach Andre and his fired-up Cardinals reach the midway point of Andre's first year in his new old home, he feels that his squad still has a few things to improve.
We'll have to tighten things up. We don't have a lot of margin for error. We don't have a ton of depth, and so like every player, we got to make sure that we're getting the maximum out of them each day.
Andre and Ball State women's golf will look to soar past the competition in the Butler Fall Invitational on October 3rd. In Muncie, Andy Newman, NewsLink, Indiana.
Keeping things on the green, Ball State women's golfer Kaya Parrott being named the MAC Golfer of the Week. Parrott coming off a record-breaking performance at the Brittany Kelly Cardinal Classic, the junior collecting her first ever individual title. This is also the first Ball State golfer to individually win since Sydney Anderson back in 2017. After her performance, Parrott expressing how much winning this tournament means to her.
I've battled several injuries since being here at Ball State, and just getting to win, especially for my first home tournament, was extra special. And then the tournament was just recently named after Brittany Kelly, and she was someone who I always looked up to as soon as I was recruited from Ball State. And I think just winning that event, in her name, is really special because she made a huge impact on Ball State and also the golf world.
The Cardinals will have the week off before heading to Indianapolis for the Butler Fall Invitational. The tournament will take place at the Highland Golf and Country Club on October 3rd and 4th. Ball State University women's tennis is getting ready to kick off their 2022 season this weekend. The Cardinals are coming off a 19-5 season, including a MAC tournament championship for the second straight year. With new players joining and a renewed focus towards another successful year, head coach Max Norris shares how excited he is for the season and the aspects of what is to come.
Very excited. We definitely have a lot to work on. We're just coming off the summer, but anytime you have a new season, it's a lot of new challenges, also a lot of new rewards, so we're very excited.
Ball State is hosting the 4th annual Bethany Moore Invitational, starting on Friday and running through Saturday. The event honors former alumni Bethany Moore, who lost her life in a car crash in 2017. Action begins at 10:30 a.m., starting with doubles and then singles.
Thank you, Jack. And we're very excited to see if that tennis group actually does make it a third championship this year.
I know, I am super excited. I don't know about you, but it'd be so great to have a three-peat under our school
Yeah,
name.
they're looking to start off really strong this weekend, and we're going to wish them best of luck to hope they can get that three-peat.
All right, well, thank you so much. Up next, we'll have your campus coverage.
And a final look at weather.
Baby, you see, I cannot set you free. My lonely days are gone. That's why I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Babe, I'm never gonna let you go. No, no, never gonna let you go.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
Hi.
Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. My name is Chandler Whitted, and this is your campus coverage. This month is Sexual Health Awareness Month, and the Health Center is making strides to help students. They're doing that through free HIV testing. The only information needed to sign up was your name and email. That information is guaranteed to only be seen by HIV testing staff. We got the perspective of local students.
We're allowing anyone to go get tested for it, and it's free because a lot of people aren't going to go if they have to pay for it. And I think it's a step in the right direction of destigmatizing HIV.
While free HIV testing may have just been today, you can always contact the Health Center for any sexual health testing. Be sure to visit their website for more information on testing and resources available to students.
All right, thank you so much. And now we're going to toss it over to one final look at weather.
Yeah, looking at that 7-day one more time, we will be in the 60s for Thursday and Friday. Then we will warm up just slightly into the mid-70s for Saturday and Sunday. And to start off the week next week, we'll drop back into the 60s. We also have a little bit of a chance for some thunderstorms Sunday night that we do need to keep an eye on.
All righty, Jack. I want to say, I don't know if I should thank you for this good weather, but I am looking forward to the cold that is coming up. Avery?
Yes, you definitely delivered some good news to us today because I am so ready for fall.
Oh, I'm very, very excited about it. I'm so done with this hot weather.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.